the Monster Mile in Dover, Delaware. It's called the Monster because it eats dreams. Those that attempt to ride its spine do so at their own peril. Turns like canyon walls, straights banked steeper than many tracks turns. Concentrate everywhere and rest nowhere. Few will leave here unscathed in equipment or spirit. Turning laps anywhere else is a Sunday school picnic compared to just a few on the Monster. The rush like no other to bring the Monster down, but exhausting to fight it and lose. Those are the words of the late Steve Evans of Diamond P Sports. They echo loudly and still ring true today. We're here today in Dover at the Monster Mile, continuing coverage of the Numb Thumbs Racing League ARCA Series, and it's coming up next here on HBR TV. Once again, everyone, welcome to Dover, Delaware at the Monster Mile. We've got 160 laps here around this 1 mile concrete high banked oval, high banked all the way around. 65% fuel load, 4 tire sets over the wall, 2 faster pairs, 3 possibilities of a green-white checkered finish if so needed. Air temperature 74 degrees, humidity at 62%. Track temperature 109 degrees Fahrenheit. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. Relatively low track temp means pretty decent handling. Again, these cars, these ARCA cars here are a handful, especially at a place like Dover Motor Speedway. Practice just about wrapped up here. 2.5 minutes remain before we get into the qualifying session. Once again, I want to thank everybody for joining us here this afternoon, this evening. HBR TV's first race of the NTRL ARCA Series. We covered just about all of them from here on into the end of the season, with the exception of a handful where schedules just didn't quite line up. But for the most part, you'll be joining us here every week, every Saturday, just about 8 p.m. in the East. 17 car field so far. Still time to get a couple more in if needed. Currently, Cody Williams top of the board. And this is race number 11, the Numb Thumbs Racing ARCA Series. Top 5 of the 38 of Williams. Second place in practice, Richard Hurst. And the 1 of Derek Welch. 45 of Mark Collins. The 67 of Nate Stanley. That's the top 5. And Joe Robert. Dave Heitzma. I think I'm saying that right. Double out Joe Bennett. 8th quick. 9th fast Brian Tiffany. 10th Richard Gray. Vincent Short, a late add to the practice session. He jumps into the 10th spot. Lap time is a 23:55. Leader's time at 23:24, so 2.5 tenths shy. Clock strike 0 on the practice session. They're going to jump right into qualifying. See who takes to these high banks first. Try to get as many as we can here. 10-minute session. And Cody Williams, the 38, not wasting any time, jumps into the car right away, rolls out of the pit lane, start his qualifying attempt. 2 laps, again, a 10-minute session. Cody Williams off turn 4, crosses the stripe, clocks in lap number 1. It's a 23:37 for Williams, current provisional pole sitter. Dave Hoytsma now currently listed as second. He's got one more lap in his session to go. First is a 23:657 out of the driver of the 79. Meanwhile, Vincent Short goes P2, 2.5 tenths off pole. Hoytsma still's got another run here off of turn number 4. Taking a look at that start-finish line. Gets off 4 nice and clean. Crosses the stripe. Lap 2 for Hoytsma. It is a little bit quicker, 23:639, but still third fast on the board. Juan Jimenez, he's having some trouble out there. He's going to back it out and go back into the pits. Nate Stanley, the number 67 machine, he's out on track. Completing his first of 2 laps. 23:870, fifth quick for the 67. Oh, a little loose off 4, has to check up before the start-finish line to avoid contact with the safer barrier. Still quick, though, 23:613. Be curious to see what he could have run if he didn't have trouble off of 4. Puts him 5th fast. Derek Welch just leaving the pits. He's down the backstretch here on his out lap. A little bit of cloud cover over the speedway. This may help Derek get a little bit faster lap time. I know the track was relatively cool to begin with, but putting the sun behind the clouds never hurts a qualifying effort. Little loose off corner exit, but maintains the straight and forward. 23:6 for Welch on his first lap. Double out Joe Bennett on the track. Joe works off of 4 as he sees the green flag on his first lap. Oh, but he's in the fence. That's off turn number 2. Little wiggle again, and back in the safer barrier goes Joe Bennett. Gary Berlin, his first lap at 23:843. Lap 2 for the 70. A little bit faster, 23:712. 9th quick for Berlin. Chris Clark in the 7. Takes a green flag on his lap. Car looks a little unsettled on entry to turn 1. Let's see how he looks the rest of the lap. (24:409), first lap for Clark. Second lap for the 7. It is also faster by a good margin, 23:851, puts him 12th fast. Couple drivers yet to take a time. Tom Barish, John Osborne. Always have a couple that decide against it. Also could be here in an admin role. Again, this is our first race here at HBR TV with Numb Thumbs Racing. Done some work with HCK Beagles in the past, but first one here for Numb Thumbs. Not sure if they've got any live admins or not, but from what I understand, top-notch outfit, top-notch league, run quite well. Good competition. No BS rules. I mean, they got rules, but they're not BS. So we wait for the session to wrap up. We're going to step aside here for a few minutes because we do have some time before the session officially comes to a close. 3 minutes and 15 seconds or so. We're going to step aside, take a break. We'll return after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Dover Motor Speedway, Numb Thumbs Racing League. Race number 11 from Dover Motor Speedway, your starting grid. On the pole position, it is the number 38 of Cody Williams. To his outside, it is the 1 of Derek Welch. Row number 2, Mark Collins and Vincent Short. Row 3, it's Joe Robert, the number 16. He'll start 5th. Richard Hurst, the number 15, will start 6th. I think that was 16 and 15. Nathan Stanley, the 67, will start from the 7th position. David Hoitzma. I think I'm saying it right. Again, somebody in the stream chat, if I'm saying it wrong, please correct me so I can fix it going forward. 9th is Jerry Birdlin, the number 70. 10th goes to Brian Tiffany, the number 35 North-South Motorsports entry. Jason Kraft, the number 23, starts 11th. Chris Clark, the number 7, he will roll off from the 12th position. 13th goes to Juan Jimenez, the number 22 with NTR Racing. 14th starting position, Richard Gray, the number 110. 15th, the number 28, Kenneth Stocks with John Osborne, number 81, starting 16th. 17th starting position, it is Double Bennett. Double Ott Bennett, that is. North-South Motorsports Double Zero Machine. 18th starting position, Tom Barish, number 55, shotgun on the field with Duke E. Smears Racing. That's your starting grid here, the Numb Thumbs Gaming ARCA Series. Field just rolling off a pit lane here. I think we only have one pace lap before we get things under the green flag. Sure, it's half a mile or larger than a half a mile. We get one. Anything less, I think we'll go 2. David Hoitzman in the stream chat, you're saying it perfect. All right, good. Because a lot of times I get some funky ones, and they do not sound good when I mess them up. We had one guy in a GT3 league that we were racing in, actually, and I can't even say it on air the way it sounded. This wasn't good. Pace car is down. Going green flag racing here.
Green flag.
Cody Williams wastes no time, jumps in the throttle. Derek Welsh doesn't miss a beat either, though. Good start for the 38 and the 1 as they go into turn number 1. Everybody clean through 1 and 2. Williams gets out to a good advantage. Welch tucks in behind, few car lengths back at least. Going to be a tough one here today. Even the leader, Cody Williams, heard the RPM spike off corner exit. That means those rear tires are no longer hooked up and the RPMs are just going through the roof, and those rear tires are spinning a little faster than the car is. Had to check up just a bit. We also saw Derek Welch, that same corner, get a little slideways off corner exit. Top 3 relatively spread apart here. Cody Williams, Welch, Hurst, and Vincent Short, Joe Robert, the top 5. There's Dave Hoitzma again there in the 9th spot. Loose off of turn 4, has to check up, gathers it back up, stays out of the wall, or does he? Sounded like somebody got in the fence, maybe just a little wall ride, because we stay under the green flag. Jason Kraft, the number 23, little connection issue for him as he blinks out momentarily. And those of you new to this iRacing deal, that will happen, of course. All these drivers here sitting in their homes or garages or man caves with their rigs, running this race via the internet, so the system has to rely on the uploads of all the information of these drivers, then download it back to everybody else, and so on and so forth. If you have a less than reliable internet connection, occasionally you can see the car blink out and completely disappear, pull a David Copperfield on everybody. Not a huge deal unless you're racing right around that guy and he's gone for an extended period of time, and then all of a sudden he lands in your lap. The system really doesn't understand that that guy just lost connection, because you're still going to crash. And make drivers that are in front of and behind a little nervous. So you'll see these guys, they'll want to dispose of that 23 as soon as possible as the Kraft gets into the outside wall off of 4 again, having some issues here early on, 8 laps in. Nathan Stanley's 7th place machine, the number 67. Jerry Berlin in behind, the number 70. Car's very loose off turn 4. Seen a bunch there slipping and sliding. Joe Robert, one of them in particular. The AC Delco looking paint scheme on that number 16. It's sharp, reminiscent of the Dale Jr. days, the late 90s, 98, 99. Good looking paint scheme. Low car down low, the number 28 of Kenneth Stocks. Stocks already 1 lap down. The 81 of John Osborne already out of the race. Not sure what happened with Osborne, but let's see if we can get a look what happened with Stocks early on. Yeah, I thought I heard somebody getting into trouble. This is going back to lap 1, actually, right at the start. Yeah, Stocks gets right down to the apron. Don't want to do that, especially on cold tires in these ARCA cars. Gets to the bottom. Car rotates a lot more than you want it to early on, and he's in trouble trying to save this thing. That's really a decent job of not letting it slide up the track. Yeah, a little bit of contact to the inside, but again, we don't get a caution, so that was a plus. That's why he is so far behind, already 1 lap down. Meanwhile, up front, Cody Williams still your leader. Derek Welch is second. Richard Hurst, Vince Short, Mark Collins, the top 5. Joe Robert battling with Mark Collins. No, this is the 16. He's battling with Nathan Stanley, trying to hang on to that 6th spot. Mark Collins is the 45 up ahead in the 5th position. I don't know if we mentioned it early on or not. We do have stages here at Dover, lap 40, lap 80. Breaks things up in the early running of the race, but then we go 80 laps to the finish. Joe Bennett's had some issue on track, as well as Ken Stocks again. Damage to the 00 machine, right front broken pretty solidly. That's not going to buff out. He's collected the pit exit cone as well. Gonna try and limp it back around to the pit lane. Working off turn 2, right at pit exit right now. On the back stretch. That's a tough break. Ken Stocks has had some issues. He's into the pit lane as well. Let's see if we can find out what happened to double out Joe Bennett. Ken Stocks, the 28, just ahead the double out of Joe Bennett. Stocks catches the wall, cuts across the nose of the 00 and collects Bennett. This is in the front straightaway. It looks like Bennett gets caught in the wall there for a moment. He's lucky to get free. A lot of times they'll get stuck there. They'll have to tow out to get back. But there you have it. Still no caution. .45 of Mark Collins running in the 5th position. Juan Jimenez looking down low, trying to take that position away. Juan in the number 22 in that bottom groove. Adept Graphics wraps on the side of it. Pretty cool paint scheme, reminiscent of a Joey Logano Xfinity paint, but he's running one of the league sponsors on it. Speaking of that, let's turn that on so we give credit where credit is due. Of course, Depth Graphics, one of the sponsors in the series, as well as Admin Boxx. You'll see that cycle through periodically throughout the race. We'll just leave that up there. Speaking of Admin Boxx, also on the side of the number 45, Nate Stanley. No, Mark Collins drives the number 45. Been a Cody Williams show since the drop of the green flag. Derek Welch has slipped back to about 2.5 seconds behind. Vincent Short remains in the third spot. Joe Robert, fourth. That's relatively unchanged, but we do have a new driver up into the top 5, and that is indeed the 22 of Juan Jimenez. Jimenez, not sure if I'm saying it right. I know I'm close, but doing my best, folks. Bunch of new names here. This is the first race of the HBR season, so to speak, for Dumb Thumbs Racing League. I'll carry you guys to the season's end. Certainly excited for it. Looking forward to more next week, especially Watkins Glen. Only about an hour and 15 minutes from where I'm broadcasting presently, so it's kind of a home track for me. So looking forward to that one, certainly. Dover's a blast as well, so this is just starting things off right here at HBR TV. Let's kind of go through the field. We're only 24 laps in, but it's been relatively clean and green since the outset of the race. Cody Williams in the front of the field here, started this afternoon in the pole position. Led every lap thus far, looking strong at the front of the field. Derek Welch started P2, runs P2. Derek out of Auburn, Alabama. He's actually the owner of Numb Thumbs Gaming and Numb Thumbs Racing. You see the 15 machine go on by. That is Richard Hurst, lap down machine, probably on fresher tires, so no need to be alarmed. Vincent Short in the 0-15 machine, runs in the third position, up one spot from where he started in the fourth position. Track Bar Media, Holler Boys Racing entry. Under pressure right now from Joe Robert, though. Joe down to the inside, the number 16. He started in the fifth position, trying to take over third here from Vincent Short as we work lap 27. Juan Jimenez, he's the biggest mover of the day. He's up 8 positions, currently runs in the 5th spot as the 81 scrapes the wall. We thought he was actually out of the race. He is not. He's still out there turning some laps, trying to pick up some points where he can. Mark Collins runs in the 6th position, the number 45 out of Castlewood, Virginia. Started third, currently running in the 6th spot. Maybe saving some tires for later on in the run. Nate Stanley, the number 67, also Castlewood, Virginia. Nate started 7th, run 7th, having a consistent afternoon so far. Jerry Berlin, the 8th position, driver, the number 70. He's up one spot since the drop of the green flag. Just in behind the 35, Brian Tiffany in the Grey Goose Vodka entry. It's a good-looking car, I'm not going to lie. Dave Hoytsma. Oh, and he's slipping and sliding. Not sure if that's what brought the caution out. There might be more to this than just that, but we saw him sideways off turn 4. We did get a caution for it. Let's go back quickly and take a look, see if that was really the reason. Oh, it was contact with him in the 28. Been the common theme so far. The 28, Kenneth Stocks, we've seen him involved in a couple incidents, one on lap 1 by himself, then another laps ago with another vehicle that did not bring the caution out. But real quickly, those two come together. Middle of turn 4, the 79 and the 28, both making contact, which brings out the caution flag, our first yellow of the afternoon. Again, 4 sets of tires over the wall here this afternoon. Curious to see if anyone's going to bite. 4 times 3, it's kind of early. It might be kind of give or take here. Some guys may take them, some guys may not, but it looks like Cody Williams, he's a taker. He's down the pit lane. And a lot of guys are not. So far, you got Cody Williams, Vince Short, Juan Jimenez, Mark Collins, the only takers on pit road. Cody Williams easily gets into his pit box. Nice and steady, nice and slow. Looks like fuel only for the 38. Right sides did not go in the air, so that's going to be the strategy play there. Vincent Short. Jack stands. Jack's under the 015, so looks like he did take 4 tires. A 15.25 second stop for Vince Short. Again, maybe a little early, maybe not. Tough to say, really. So now, guys like Vince Short that did opt for tires on that stop. You got 3 sets left over the wall. If you go on this average, he's going to have to make this set last. Trying to do the math in my head here. So this one went 30 laps. He pits for tires. Now he's got 3 sets. He goes only 3 more sets. That's 90 laps plus the 30, 121 laps. That leaves him roughly 40 laps short for tires. That means that last set's got to last him quite a while. Might work out. It doesn't leave him with an extra set to kind of gamble with if the caution comes out late. If we keep getting these long stretches of green flag runs, might work out. So through that cycle, new leader Derek Welch, the one up front. Second place, Joe Robert. Third, Nathan Stanley. Jerry Berlin is 4th. Brian Tiffany 5th. Dave Hoitzma, Jason Kraft. That's 6th and 7th. Tom Barish, Cody Williams, Juan Jimenez. That's the balance of the top 10. Caution is on the Speedway this afternoon for the first time. Dumb Thumbs Racing League ARCA Series. Pretty good stretch. We watched practice and we were a little apprehensive about how this was going to play out. A lot of guys in trouble off corner exit, real loose, trying to get back to the throttle. Seems that everybody got it out of their system for the most part. We ran a solid 29 laps or so before we had a caution of any kind. We had some issues on track, but nothing of any major consequence. There you have it. Pace car lights are out. We are on the 1 to go, so we'll get the green flag the next time by with 34 laps up on the board. Realized my logo was in the wrong spot. There, that's all better. Beauty of live TV. Pace car peels off the banking. We wait on Derek to take the green flag. The Geico restart zone. Throttle is down. He's off and running. The 16, Joe Robert, not a great restart. Derek Welch, though, timed it perfectly. Got into that restart zone and got to the throttle. 16, though, great run into turns 1 and 2. Goes to the high side with a cannon of a run. New leader off turn number 2. Joe Robert goes to the point, and we got trouble in the back straightaway. 23 involved, as is others. The double out Joe Bennett involved to 22 is involved. 38 of Cody Williams got a piece of that as well. Well, let's take a look, see what happened from this perspective. Happening up in front of these guys. Jason Kraft. Let's just rewind this because I'm not getting anything on the 23, which is interesting because it seemed to be where it all precipitated from. All right, so the 23, that is Jason Kraft down low, comes up the track. 22 is there. Jimenez holding his line. 23 comes up, clips the nose. And there you have it. The wreck is on from there. Let's watch this for Joe Bennett, too. He may have done the same thing. So Joe Bennett, similar circumstances for him off turn number 2. He comes across the nose of the 110. I'm not sure who the 110 is. That is Richard Gray. But Gray actually got into the safer barrier before that contact, so it may have precipitated that contact. And then the both of them slam into the 22 and the 23. So 38, Cody gets involved in that one as well. Late. Tough break for him. Second caution of the day. You saw it right there. Cody Williams appears to have used one of 2 fast repairs to fix his machine. He didn't have a ton of damage, but enough for it to matter. Again, if you got 2, you might as well use it when you weren't expecting it. Again, Cody was up in front of this field from the drop of the green flag, opted to stop that last caution to take tires, or fuel only. Actually, the 38 did not take tires. A few of the drivers behind him did take a set of general tires. I think Cody's strategy here is if he can get back towards the front, he won't necessarily need to worry too much about burning that fast repair later. I think Joe Bennett used the fast repair as well, which I think might have been his last fast repair. He already had used one previously with his incident with the 28, Ken Stocks. So he's burned up 2 fast repairs in the first 36 laps of this race. Tough break for the 000. And Joe Tucker in the Facebook chat. Oh, Dover, such a fun place. I mean, I kind of like it. It's kind of hairy to get around, but I do like it. '22 of Juan Jimenez. That car looks nice and clean again as well. So it appears that everybody involved in that still going to stay in this thing. Used up that fast repair, the first of 2, one of which used their second of 2, I believe. That'd be the double out of Joe Bennett. Joe Tucker, that was a serious statement, not my usual sarcasm. Okay, well, that's good. I don't know, it's a tough place. It is a lot of fun, but it's not necessarily the easiest place to get around, especially in an ARCA car. So through all that, we do have a new leader. Driver of the 015, Vincent Short, taking over the top spot. Vince is actually the points leader coming into tonight's event. I believe he holds on to that points lead by about 9 points coming into Dover. Joe Tucker again in the Facebook stream chat. I could do without ARCA. I'm terrible in them. I actually really like them. It's probably one of my favorite cars on the entire sim. I wouldn't say I'm great at them, but if I get a chance to turn some laps with the ARCA car at the Glen on the Cup layout, it's a blast. Again, if you want to tune in to watch that next week, Joe, we're racing here at Watkins Glen next week, but we're back racing here at Dover. Green flag flies. Vincent Short back in the gas. 39 laps go up on the board. Joe Tucker, hell of a jump by the leader there. That is Vince Short. Second place, Joe Robert, right on his tail. I don't think he jumped because he probably would have got the black flag. I think we do have the restart zone here at Dover, so that's always something to keep in mind. Joe Robert getting a great run off of turn number 4. Didn't see quite as much of it in turn 2, but he's right there. Slides a little bit up out of the groove in the middle of turns 1 and 2. Joe Robert going to the bottom. Vincent Short slides up the track. Whoa, over rotates, but saves the car. 16 is just not afraid. Dropped it down to the bottom off turn number 4. Almost got inside the 15 there, the 015 of Vince Short. Off turn number 2. Loose again is Joe Robert off the corner. He's just hanging on to that thing. Can't do that too long. You're going to burn up that right rear in a hurry. Go on board with Joe Roberts, see what he sees as he gets around the Monster Mile. Vince Short continues to lead this field. Joe Robert maintains the second spot, albeit a half second back. Not as close as he was initially on that restart. It was right there, knocking on the door of the 015 of Vince Short. Looking back on that second caution of the race, not really sure if it was initiated by the accident that we had seen with the 28. I think it was the 79 of Dave Hoytsma. May have actually been the stage caution. I had to go back and take a look at what lap that actually was, but if it was a little bit early, I know a lot of leagues will take that opportunity to call that the stage rather than go back to green for a lap or two and then throw the yellow again. It just doesn't make sense. So a lot of times if you get a caution within a few laps of that stage caution, they'll just say, all right, we'll count it. This is the stage. Do what you got to do. Very well could have been the case. We'll keep an eye out how things play out here. Lap 80 will be the next stage caution, and then it'll be a shootout all the way to lap 60 from there on in. Joe Tucker in the stream chat again, sliding it around. Heated up that tire too much for the driver to maintain traction. Very well could have been the case, Joe. We kind of thought about that. He was really abusing that right rear early in that run. Starting to slip here. Now it's 0.8 of a second back from Vincent Short. Other battles in the field. Mark Collins has the 4th position. He's trying to hold off Juan Jimenez for that spot. 22 of Jimenez, or Jimenez. Again, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but real loose off turn 2. Mark Collins starting to put a little bit of a distance to the 22, maybe a car length. Did not have a good 3 and 4 there as the 22 does start to catch up slightly. Jimenez also has the 67 as Stanley kind of breathing down his neck as well. He wants to get by the 45. He takes a look to the inside, down the backstretch into turn number 3. He does have him side by side. The 45 up the track into the second groove, tries to pinch the 22 on the bottom, slides up the track again himself, almost makes contact with the safer barrier. 22 is going to take the 4th position at least that lap. Doesn't have the 45 clear yet. Maybe he does now. Off turn number 2, move Jimenez up to the 4th position. 45 right there back to the bumper of the 22, trying to say, hey, I'm still quick. I can do this. But no, right now the 22 of Jimenez is starting to put some pace down on the track and some space between himself and Mark Collins. Now, it's one thing I mentioned in my other streams, my other broadcasts, is that if you guys are in the stream chat or just lurking and watching, that's fine too, but feel free to interact, ask questions, where you watching from, what driver are you cheering for, the whole nine. Some of the participants, like Joe Tucker, he's not bashful about being in here and saying hi. We've had a couple of you guys, the Covey Stanley, Richard Hurst, Dave Hoitzman, they were all popping in early on in the race. I think that might have been before we went green, but nevertheless, guys, feel free. Say hello, chat it up. I get a look at it every now and again. I can't keep my eyes on it all the time because I'm trying to call the race, but I will do my best. Got questions or anything of the sort, feel free. Mark Collins starting to slip a little further now. Nathan Stanley's trying to get back to the bumper of the 45, but now he's got the 38 of Cody Williams, our pole sitter, tracking him down. Cody's got some pace. Still on older tires, though. Again, I don't know if he took the opportunity, the last caution to pit. It appears he did, looking at that. Yes, he did take tires at least one of those, a 15.72 second stop. So, first set of tires used for the 38, still 3 over the wall. Joe Tucker, I'm just here to cheer for the broadcaster. Well, we appreciate it, Joe. Meanwhile, we did have a pass for the lead, and we missed this or battle for the lead. The 16 is to the outside of Vincent Short. Derek Welch has come into this picture as well. The top 3 all under a blanket going into turn 3. Robert has gone by the 015. Caution does come out. We were just going to go to it.
Or a bar or anything like that?
Don't see why this has come out. I was told the stage cautions are 40 and 80. Don't see anyone involved in a crash. So this is maybe a debris caution. Hard to say. Well, while we work this caution, I don't have any race crash replays to show you. So we'll take a look at the past. Joe Robert getting around Vincent Short for the top spot. We'll go full speed here. The 16 dropped it to the bottom. Oh, that's how it happened. Let's back this up a bit. See a car in the wall. Was this the 28 again? Wrong button here. Yes, it was. Ken Stocks in the wall. Left front damage. Slow on the front stretch. It looked like Vincent Short was trying to avoid that. Checked up maybe slightly, and it let the 16 of Robert get to the inside. Then Robert slides back up the track. This is where we joined the broadcast. Tough break. And it is early on, but that's not a fun way to lose the top spot. Car in the wall with damage, slow in the front stretch, and the caution doesn't come out. Leader checks up, loses the lead to the 16. Is what it is. Again, we've got just under 100 laps left, so plenty of time to do something with the 16 of Joe Robert. Vincent Short now second, Derek Welch third, Juan Jimenez fourth, Mark Collins fifth. Quickie yellow here. Pace car lights are off. No one taking an opportunity to hit the pit lane as the stage caution is approaching. Pace car peels off the track. Wait on the green flag.
Green, green, green.
Battle for the lead. Joe Robert up front. Derek Welch to the bottom, trying to take over that top spot. Both drivers pit about lap 35, so on equal footing tire-wise. Welch with a run into 3. Down to the bottom, he's going to take over the lead. New leader here, lap 65. Derek Welch to the point. Oh, Robert, a whale of a run off turn 4. We've seen that all afternoon long. He is getting off of turn 4 like he's shot out of a cannon every time. Does allow him to kind of dive bomb into the corner, take that position away. Gives him to the lower part of the racetrack, the low groove, but Welch drives it in deep in the middle lane. Gets it out in front of the 16. You see the 16 gets real high off exit. Not close enough to do anything with it this time. But man, that last lap, a huge run off turn number 4. But now Juan Jimenez battling that 16 for the second spot. Vincent Short right there to the back bumper of the 22. And Vince Short's not going to want to see the one of Welch out in front. Derek is second in the points to Vincent Short. Vince does lead by, I believe it was 7 or 8 points. And the 16's in a wall off of 4. Minor contact, 3 wide into 1. They better figure this out. 16 up in the loose stuff into turns 1 and 2. He's going to drop from 3rd back to 6th position through that exchange. Derek Welch, Juan Jimenez, Vincent Short, Nate Stanley, Cody Williams, your top 5. Close quarters there into 1 and 2. Everybody gets away with it clean. Derek Welch putting some distance back to 2nd place, as is Jimenez back to 3rd place. 8 to 10 car lengths between the top 2, and roughly the same back to 3rd place Vince Short. Cody Williams, though, started pole position this afternoon. Has worked his way back through the field. Did have to burn a fast repair through one incident, our first caution of the day. Works off of turn number 2. Passes Vincent Short. It's Short now back to the 4th spot. Nathan Stanley 5th. Now he's a car length behind the 015. Cody Williams now to the back door of the 22 of Jimenez. This would be for the 2nd position. Cody drops it down to the bottom off turn number 2. Tries to make a move to the inside. Gets a bit of a block from the 22. They're into turns 3 and 4. Jimenez a little loose off turn 4. The 38 drops it back down to the bottom again. Now he's going to get some position on the 22 into turn 1. May have the spot. Jimenez goes up high, a little into the loose stuff. The right sides, that is. The 38 unable to clear off turn 2. Down the backstretch, side by side into 3. Maybe this time Cody can complete the pass. 22 battling back on the high side. Doesn't want to give it up. This is music to the leader of Derek Welch, at least good to the eyes in the rearview mirror as the 22 of Jimenez gets into the safer barrier. Now Cody Williams goes up to the 2nd spot. Through all that, though, I don't know if Derek Welch is starting to try and save some tire or just get to the stage, but Williams has closed down that gap. It was 1.14 seconds a few laps ago while Williams and Jimenez were battling together. It's now 0.6 of a second Williams closing in on P1, lap 75. Welch gets a piece of the wall there. Williams is right there. Car length and a half, maybe two, separate the 1 and the 38 into 3. Williams still on the attack, wants to get first place for the stage. Stage points are important. Again, now a car length between the two. Lap 77 goes on the board. Gotta wonder how hard is the 38 gonna press here. I know it's for a stage, but it's one spot versus second spot. Lap 78 goes on the board. We still have plenty of race left. Williams to the inside. Drag race down the backstretch. Williams taking a peek now into 3. Saw a very similar battle with himself in the 22 just a few laps ago. Eventually did take it away. Welch battles back up top, and same thing. Welch gets the outside wall just like the 22 did. Gives the lead now to the 38 of Williams. Back to the front. 38 of Cody Williams here late at the end of this, just before the stage end. Williams into 3 and 4. We'll see the white flag on stage number 2 as he gets off of turn number 4. Scrapes the wall, a little wall magnet, and the caution is out for the stage. Stage number 2 is complete. Williams, Richard Gray managed to get the second spot there. Derek Welch, Juan Jimenez, Vincent Short, the top 5. We're going to try and switch over here and get a word with Cody Williams after his pit stop, if he does take it. Assuming he will. Last stop was at lap 35. Here we are on 81, so I'm assuming he's at minimum going to take fuel. Likely to see him put 4 new tires on that machine as well. Everybody and their brother down pit lane here, the exception of the 45, Mark Collins. He stays on the track, possibly to try and lead a lap. His last stop was at lap 30, so I'm assuming he may just opt for the penalty and pit this time by, but nevertheless, Cody Williams in the pits, as well as everyone else. Into the box, almost straight through it. Right sides go in the air. He's down and away. So let's try and get a word here with Cody Williams, our stage winner. Cody, it's Steve in the HBR TV broadcast booth. You got a good copy?
Yes, you guys.
Watched you work your way back through the field from an early stop that you made under that first caution. Was that planned? Did you expect more guys to go with you? Nevertheless, you got back up here for stage 2 and took home a green and white checkered flag.
No, actually, that was my stupidity. I completely forgot what when the stage was, so I thought the stage was on 30. It was on 40, so I pitted early. Nobody came in with me, so I got stuck back there in traffic, and I just tried to take my time there on that last run just to try to take my time picking these guys off, trying to give guys plenty of room and stuff. So we're back up there, got the track position back, so it's a good deal.
Very good. Well, along stage 3 here, just under 80 laps to get to 160. Good luck to the finish, man. Thanks for talking to us.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
It's Cody Williams, driver of the number 38 machine, winner of stage number 2. Always good to try and get a word with some of these drivers. We didn't get stage 1 just so we kind of got caught off guard there, but we're going to step aside here. We're not going to go to break officially here, as we're going to get the one to go in a moment, but we will return. Stay with live pictures. We'll be back after this. Just a brief word from the sponsor, Admin Boxx. A little more about Admin Boxx. If you don't know what it is, well, it kind of sounds like what it is. It's an admin box for iRacing. It's pre-configured, all the buttons you need to be a race admin, already ready to rock and roll. Out of the box, just plug it in, plug and play, and you're ready to race admin. Admin Boxx. Check them out. Currently on the one to go. We'll get the green here at lap 85. That'll give us 76 laps to the finish. You guys can check my math on that. Probably not the greatest.
Green flag.
Green flag waves. We're back underway. Cody Williams into turns 1 and 2. Got a good jump. Vincent Short, second spot. Joe Robert, Derek Welch, Nathan Stanley, the top 5. Cody Williams out to a big jump here from the drop of that green flag on the restart. Ken Stocks down low, slow moving car on the apron. Not sure if there was an issue there or not. Low to rejoin the field at the back of the pack, though. Curious what's going on with the 28. Had a rough afternoon so far. Anya Menez back to the 7th position, was challenging hard there at the end of that run. Seemed to perform a little bit better on the older tires. Brian Tiffany in the 35. He's up 4 spots into the 6th position. Nate Stanley fifth position, just behind Derek Welch in the one. Again, Welch came on strong there at the end of that run as well on the older tires, but Jimenez challenging now for the sixth position. He got a nose out in front of the 35. This is for the sixth spot. Jimenez goes up to P6. Next on the hit list, Nathan Stanley, the 67. Fourteen cars currently still on the lead lap. First car lap down the 45 of Collins. He is 3 laps down, though, but would get that lucky dog. Put him 2 laps down if we got another caution. Big gaggle of cars here for about the 5th position. The 5th spot is Juan Jimenez, following the one of Welch kind of through the field here, but not for long. He's looking to the inside. He wants P4. Welch looking to take the spot from the 16 of Joe Robert. They're side by side into turn 1. Jimenez has got a quick car right now, not wanting to waste any time. Left, right, trying to find an opening to go around these two cars that do battle in front of him. Let's ride on board with the 22 and watch that battle continue. Gets crossed up. They make contact on the front straightaway.
Caution. Caution.
Jimenez was there, but Welch had to slide up. Contact was made under the caution flag another time. Let's go back and take a look at it, see exactly what happened. It looks like it started with the one of Welch making contact with the car to his inside. Just ahead here, the black and green, the one of Welch. You got the 16 of Joe Robert up top. He has to get out of the gas to not make contact with the 16, but that bottles him up in front of the 70. Don't know if contact was made there or not initially to send Welch into the path of the 22, but they get collected. The 70 gets spun around. And by that extra hit there, I got to wonder if Welch believes that contact from the 70 was the result of that. Let's ride on board and see what it looked like from the 70s. He comes up to the one car. He had to check up to avoid contact. No, there was no contact there. It was close, but if anything, maybe some net code, but he did not touch him. Look at it one more time from the spotlight here. Welch checks up. Man, it was close. Close, but no cigar. Unfortunately, the 70 gets turned. And I think the 70 going around was net code as well. Tough break. I know they did some modifications and some upgrades to the softwares and such to iRacing here this week. A lot of times we will see netcode becomes an issue for the first week or so. After that, they'll usually get the bugs worked out. But unfortunately, looks like that may have had a lot to do with that one. I know the one of Welch certainly checking up to avoid contact with the 16. Amen, brother, on that one. But unfortunately, didn't catch the 22 coming to the high side. And again, maybe a little bumper to bumper net code between the 1 and the 70. Hard to say if that was truly it, but it Definitely wasn't contact. Well, here we are, lap 161 laps to finish it out. Yeah, 61, because they got to count that last lap. This is our 5th caution of the day. Cheat a little bit and check. Yep, 5th caution of the day. Now, one of those was for a stage break, and I think they counted one of the other cautions as the stage break. Again, many leagues will do that. NASCAR even does that. If you get a caution that's near enough to the stage caution lap, they will just go ahead and call it as the stage rather than get these guys all squared away and then make everybody do their pit stops and then end the stage. Points are awarded for it, so we don't want to gin it up, as some would say. Doesn't appear that anybody's rolled off the racing surface, take tires, or anything of the sort. Everybody's stopped at least twice, some 3. Cody Williams has pit 4 times, but reminder on that one, Cody was involved in an accident. I think that was our first caution. Relatively minor damage. During that accident, he went down, burned a fast repair, did take tires on that stop. Again, the mistake that he even admitted to making there when we talked to him after the stage 2 interview was that he didn't realize the stage was 40. He thought it was 30. That's why he hit the pit lane when everybody else stayed on the racetrack. Also explains why he only took fuel. Didn't want to burn those tires up too soon. So quick thinking, the driver behind the wheel, that number 38 gear wrench machine. Hasn't hurt him too bad, though. Again, he won stage number 2, and he currently leads this race now. 'See if Joe Robert can get away clean here and get the jump on the leader, Cody Williams, or not.
Green flag.
Nope. As soon as Williams hit that restart zone, he was gone. Still a decent reaction time from Robert, though. Car length back into 1. He's going to ride the high side, build some momentum, carry it down the back straightaway. What it does for him. Cody Williams still out in front. He's put 0.6 of a second back to Joe Robert. Robert is under pressure from the 67 and Nate Stanley. Stanley had the inside off of 2, but gets it crossed up. Now he looks back to the bottom another time off of turn 4. It's getting a little slippery. 67 not able to make it to the left door of the 16. '67 and Nate Stanley is used to driving that right rear hung right in the air. A fine line to walk. If you can make it work, it'd be pretty quick. The way it works is side force. Again, giving you guys that are novices to this some insight. Right rear hung out means the right rear is essentially in the wind. You see, it's almost looking like it's ready to spin out as he's trying to get to the inside of Joe Robert for the second spot. It's almost like he's drifting, like you see some guys do on a dirt track. It is kind of like that, but not quite to that extent, but just enough that it puts the right rear of the body in the air, so the air hits the right rear of the car as it goes down the racetrack, and the air is almost pushing back on the right side, preventing it from completing a spin. If you can do that without spinning, you can be quick, and you can see the 67 certainly has some pretty strong pace here, trying to take the second spot from Joe Robert. Ken Stocks, damaged car down low. Needs to get a little lower here. He needs to get to the apron and get to pit lane. I don't know why he's still out on the track. '28 of Ken Stocks, damaged car, driving in the preferred line. I'm not sure why he's still out there. Needs to get that machine down to the pit road. Going to stay with the 28. I don't want to see anything happen here, but the leaders are off turn number 2. Looks like Stocks is going to finally drive it to the pit road. Leaders go by. And there he is. Stocks finally gets it to the pit road to get it to the attention of his crew, get some repairs made. Don't know if he's got a fast repair left or not. Been a rough afternoon for the driver of the 28. Back out front, though, as the battle continues for the second spot. Joe Roberts still has it. Back and forth with the 67 is Stanley. Stanley really wants by that number 16 machine. We'll ride on board. You heard Joe Robert have to check up off turn 4 there. Thought the 67 was going to get to the bottom. Not enough to do it. Slides back in behind. The car length off the back bumper of the 16. They work off turn number 2. Down the back straightaway again. Stanley's really got a lot of wheel into that thing. Slipping and sliding. Trying to correct it off every exit. Still holding the pace, though. I think if he could get by the 16 of Robert here, he may be able to drive away. But easier said than done. And he's got to do it. Well, Robert has been proven able to not make mistakes here, and as long as he continues to do that and keep the pace that he's running, he may be able to keep the 67 and 8 Stanley in his rearview mirror. Maybe. Nate Stanley gets a good run off of 4. Don't know if he's got anything to do with it, though. Joe Robert doing a good job taking the line away. Again, taking a little bit of that air off the nose of the 67. That doesn't help either. Might be why he's dropping down to the bottom, trying to get some downforce on the front of that Chevy. Through all that battling these two have been doing, Vincent Short has caught this group. Now he's looking to the inside of the 67. Vincent Short taking over the 3rd spot as he charges towards the front. Move the 015 back up into the top 3. Joe Robert did a masterful job keeping the 67 behind him, but can he do the same with Vince Short? Vincent coming off of turn number 4, nose to the inside of the 16, down the front stretch. Roberts had a better run off the corner. He's going to carry it up to the middle lane in turns 1 and 2. Short still down to the bottom. A fender to the left rear of the 16. Off turn 2, a little slide from Robert off the corner. Side by side, back into 3. Short to the bottom. Can he get him clear off of 4? We didn't see the 67 get this far by. Nope, he's got him clear. Vincent Short up to P2, lap 120. Just like that, Vince Short putting some distance to Joe Robert, already over a second back to P3. Vince has got a long ways to go, though. It's 4.6 seconds to the lead with Cody Williams out in front. Nicky Short, welcome to the stream chat, cheering on the driver of the 015. Wondering when we were going to hear from Nicky. She's always jumping into these stream chats saying hello, cheering on her husband. Big gaggle of cars here. This is back 13, 14, 15. The 22 of Jimenez. Looks like the 22 hit pit lane at lap 117. I don't know if that was a scheduled stop or not. It was for tires and fuel, 15.18 seconds for the 22. So that would explain why he is 2 laps down. Again, they click off in a hurry. I don't know if that's just entered to his pit window, if he's trying to do an undercut here, if that's enough fuel to get to the end. Again, a 65% fuel load in these cars today, but man, those fresh General tires got him looking like a rocket ship out there compared to the rest of the field who pit lap 81 and change. A couple guys pit around lap 100 with that other caution, but that's really about it. Ryan Tiffany drops his number 35 down to the pit lane as well. Regular scheduled pit stops apparently happening now. Lap 125. Just over 35 laps to go before we settle it here from Dover. Maybe enough to get these guys to the finish. Trying to work on a little undercut strategy, it may seem. Get some fresher tires. They're a little faster. Make up some track position after the pit stop, possibly, while these other guys are out there on older rubber. Hoytsma in his box. Number 79 machine, right side's in the air. Crew goes around to the left. 4 tires and fuel for the driver of the number 79, Dave Hoytsma. He's down and away. Clean stop. 15.45 seconds. 15 of Richard Hurst runs in the 8th position, just ahead of the 7 of Chris Clark and Tom Barish. Currently top 10 on the lead lap. Door slam there. They make contact off turn 2. Don't know if that was inadvertent or what happened there, but nonetheless, both drivers drive away clean from it. Close call here, lap 128. I wonder if some of these leaders are just waiting to see if they can get a caution and do their pit work under the yellow flag. Otherwise, you gotta really play your cards right. You can go 2 laps down in a hurry just pitting under the green flag. Leaders still stay on the track, not opting to take their final stop of the day as of yet. Last car on the lead lap there, the 55, not too far ahead of leader Cody Williams. Barish's last stop, lap 82, as well as Cody Williams is about lap 81. Vince Short did opt to pit at lap 98. That explains why he was able to drive through the field the way that he did. A little bit fresher tires on the 015. If he's starting to close in, still some ways back. 2.2 seconds the interval between himself and the leader. It was 4.6 seconds laps ago. Cody Williams puts the 55 of Barish a lap down. Working on the 15 now of Richard Hurst. Richard Hurst might have got the wall a bit. 38 caught that in a hurry, wanted to get as far away as possible. It's a short going to the high side on the 28 of 10 stocks. Nowhere to go for the 015 except up the middle. Hurst goes up high to let him go on through. A courteous move. Now he's got to get around the 55 on the high side. Hurst into the wall again on the straightaway. Vincent Short working his way through traffic as well. Lost a little time to leader Cody Williams. It's now 2.7 seconds. 26 laps to go here from Dover Motor Speedway. Final stops for the leaders still need to take place. Derek Welch pits from the 4th position. He's on for his final stop of the day. See what Welch takes as far as his pit service is concerned. Right sides for certain. Fuel for certain. Car down off the jack. Crew goes around the left side. 4 tires and fuel for Derek Welch. Full service stop here. Jack goes down. Welch is still on the pit lane. Oh no, could this be a pit road speeding violation for Derek Welch? He waits, he waits, he waits. This is usually a 40-second penalty. That's almost 2 laps. That's going to take Welch out of this. Meanwhile, out in front, Cody Williams still with the lead. 3.5 seconds back is Vince Short. And then 3rd place, 20 seconds back, Jerry Berlin. That settles it. Welch's stop, 54.52 seconds. That would be a 14.52 second pit stop, which is pretty quick for 4 tires and fuel, with a 40-second pit road speeding penalty tacked onto it. Tough break for Derek Welch, currently listed 13th on the field. Not good for the points. Welch is 4 laps down through that cycle. Next position on track for Welch to even make up is a full lap ahead of him. That is Richard Hurst in the 15. He's 3 laps down. Well, Cody Williams and Vincent Short on a lap of their own with 20 laps to go. Jerry Berlin hits the pit lane. Jerry Berlin in the pit lane for a second time. See Cody Williams peeling off the racetrack here. He's going to make his final stop of the day. It's going to give Vincent Short the lead. 18 laps to go. Again, Vince pit at lap 98. So he may stay out a tidbit longer than everybody else. Again, he is out here. He'll end up in the lead with everyone else a lap behind him. A caution would ruin this for so many drivers right now. And Cody Williams, the first car 1 lap down. If the caution were to come out, he would be the lucky dog. But Vincent Short, he is down the pit lane as well. Very curious to see why he didn't go a little longer. He probably could have put another 8-10 laps down, saved it, got those tires real late, and been able to push hard for the rest of the run. Now he's going to be on equal footing pretty much with Cody Williams. Maybe just thinking points. Not sure if he's got the pace to outrun Cody Williams. That could be part of it. Who knows? Vince is usually pretty stout, though. Again, he comes into Dover here with the points lead. I think it was about 7 points over Derek Welch. Right side's going on the 015 Track Bar Media Chevrolet. Vince waiting on fuel. Right side tires only. Don't know about that one. We'll see how that pans out. It's definitely a faster stop, but he had to wait on the fuel. So 14.75 seconds versus a 15.25 second stop, which would have been 4 tires. Very interesting strategy. I know he doesn't have as many laps on the left sides as the leaders had coming into that cycle. We'll see how this pays off. It's going to change the handling on that car. We've seen right sides only make these things super, super loose. Hopefully he does not have an issue. New leader, though, Joe Robert, his last stop, lap 166. He is out in front. 16 laps to go here from Dover. Just to recap the top 7, because those are the cars currently on the lead lap. Robert, Williams, Tiffany, Jimenez, Short, Stanley, and Hoytsma. That is the top 7. The only cars currently on the lead lap. Jason Kraft runs 8th. First car 1 lap down. 9th is Mark Collins. Chris Clark is 10th. Other notables, Welch. Derek Welch 2 laps down after that cycle of stops. He's in the 13th position after a pit road speeding violation. And Stocks trying to get out of the way. These faster leaders. Joe Robert goes by in a hurry. Cody Williams coming in a hurry as well. Let's see if Joe Robert can hold out here. Cody Williams closing down in a hurry. 3/10, quarter second, 2/10. Cody Williams coming like a cannon into turn number 1. He's going to look to the inside. Robert's going to slide up the racetrack. Cody Williams going to take over the top spot with ease off turn number 2 with 12 laps to go. Cody Williams back to the front. Joe Robert now 2nd. Brian Tiffany 3rd. Juan Jimenez is 4th. Vincent Short rounds out the top 5. And a 2-tire stop for Short. And Biker Man cheering on Joe Robert here in the chat. Easy, Biker Man, easy. Joe Robert off of 4. Sees 10 laps to go from Dover. Stretch that advantage to 1.5 seconds back to Joe Robert. Brian Tiffany runs in the 3rd spot, but he's got a mirror full of Vincent Short off turn number 2. Vince to the bottom. Looks like he's going to take over this spot. Move the 15 up to P3. Maybe not. 35 battles back on the high side. Not enough, though. Vince Short, fresher tires, even though they're only the right sides. Vince Short goes to P3. Top 3 now, Williams, Robert, Short. Then 4th, 5th is Tiffany and Jimenez. Cody Williams all by himself, 5.5 seconds in front. Joe Robert second, Short third. Closest battle on the track for now is Tiffany and Jimenez, and it's not that close either. It's 1.25 seconds back to the 22 and fifth. Williams looking for 4 laps to go off turn number 4. Pretty much in cruise control at this point. Only thing that could change things up right now is catastrophic failure for Williams or a caution. Certainly throw something into the mix here, but I think the big difference we're seeing right now between Williams, Robert, and Short, Cody Williams took 4 tires, a 15.10 second stop. Joe Robert, same thing, 15.07. Vincent Short took 2 tires, and it was a faster stop, but it was 14.75. So we're talking about 0.4 of a second quicker to not get no new left sides. You get the mindset to not want to take them and save a little extra time. I could see it if it was a 4-second advantage to not take the lefts, but Vince Short may look back at this and kick himself. Still a strong finish so far with 2 to go. Might be wondering what it could have been. Cody Williams down into turn number 3. Going to look for the white flag off turn number 4. White flag is in the air. Last lap for Cody Williams. Started from the pole position this afternoon. Made a mistake on that first pit stop. Got collected in another incident. Had to burn the faster pair early. Worked his way back through the field. Won stage 2, and he's looking off turn number 4 for the checkered flag to win the race. And he's going to win race number 11 from Dover. Numb Thumbs Racing League ARCA Series. Checkered flag goes to Cody Williams. Joe Roberts going to finish in the 3rd position. Vincent Short off turn number 4. He's going to take position number 3. Field pretty well spread out here. Brian Tiffany's going to bring it home 4th with Juan Jimenez just about to the back bumper. He will finish top 5 in 5th. Cody Williams, your race winner. Driving around for his cool down. Now that's a burnout. Nicely done by Cody Williams. We're going to step aside here for a short break, gather up our top 3 into the broadcast booth, try to get a word with all 3 of them. I know this first broadcast, sometimes it can be a little tricky, but we'll try and get all 3 here, so stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Dover, Delaware, the Dover Motor Speedway. Dumb Thumbs Racing League ARCA Series. Race number 11 is complete. Cody Williams is your winner. Let's try to get a word with our top three. It looks like we do have all three here waiting, so let's go first and foremost to the winner. Here at the Monster Mile, it's Cody Williams. Cody, it's Steve in the broadcast booth. You got a good copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Cody, congratulations, man. It was a job well done. Took the pole position. Had a little snafu on, I think, that lap 30 caution. Decided to stop and hit pit lane. And admittedly, we talked to you after stage 2. That was a mistake. How did you formulate the rest of the race, and what was the plan to take home a checkered flag here today?
Well, I just kind of had a plan headed into this race. I knew it was going to be tough on some guys being able to save tires on long runs. So I really concentrated on my long run speed and being able to save my tires. And I kind of formulated a plan in my head of what I wanted to do. I stuck with it pretty much the whole race. I had that little mess up there on 30 when I thought it was a stage break. But like I said, then I just kind of picked my way through those guys as carefully as I could. And turned out to be a good night. It just is one of my favorite tracks on iRacing, and I absolutely love running here. So it turned out to be a good night.
Amazing how much better we run at the tracks that we really enjoy. This place is definitely one of the places that you seem to like. Watkins Glen is mine. I'm looking forward to at least calling that one next week. What are your thoughts going into the road course? How do you run on those?
I'm not too great at road courses. I've been working on my road craft a lot lately. I've been doing a lot of road racing. Admittedly, I haven't been doing a lot in the actual stock cars. I've been doing a lot of GT3 races, but it has been at least been getting me some laps on the road courses and getting my my brake pedal fine-tuned to where I want it. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna just go into it with an open mind and just try to stay on track and get a good finish.
Really hope we get a good showing for it. I know a lot of guys kind of put that one as their mulligan and decide, you know what, I'm not going to run that, but give it a chance. Anybody who's out there who's running this NTRL series, please go up and do that. Cody's going to be there, I'm sure, so he's been working on it. Again, congratulations here on the win this afternoon. Before we let you get out of the booth, is there anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank everybody here at NTRL. Derek and all the admins that put on the league, man. It's been really fun since I joined this year. I look forward to moving forward with all those guys and all my teammates. I didn't have any show up tonight, but a big shout out to them guys. Wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them teaching me stuff, Richard and Ricky and Brad. And I look forward to the rest of the season, man.
All right, Cody. Well, again, thanks for chatting with us, man. Congratulations. Good luck next week. Turning right.
All right. Thank you.
Cody Williams, your race winner here at Dover. Next, we're going to go to Joe Robert. Bring the driver of the number 16 up into the broadcast booth. Joe, it's Steve at the HBR booth. You got a copy?
Hello, Steve.
How are you, Joe?
I'm doing pretty good. We got second for like the billionth time, so we're happy.
Second. It's better than 30th, that's for certain. You look strong out there. You can certainly wheel that car around here. We saw you making moves, especially off turn number 4. First of all, what was your strategy coming into tonight, and did you change any of it?
Strategy is don't be in traffic because the car felt just so unresponsive and dead in traffic. It was horrible. So I wanted to stay out of traffic as much as possible because in traffic I could not handle it whatsoever. Also, keep the fast guys behind me as best as I could. Got lucky with Derek and Juan getting into it. That took out 2 really fast cars. And Derek's, I think he got a penalty too, but Juan managed to recover pretty well. I was thinking of going on the same strategy as Vincent, but ended up not doing that. But was figuring out the track as we went farther and farther in the race, and was saving it better than I did the first stage, and then save it better than I did the second stage. And that really helped me to undercut, and still ended up finishing quite far behind Cody, but managed to finish up pretty well. And I'll take a second. Cody was on another level today.
Definitely on rails was the 38. It was certainly fun to watch you, and I think it might have been the 22 there for a bit doing battle. Actually, no, it was the 67, actually. Nathan Stanley, you and him were going at it for quite a few laps. It seemed that that middle lane was a great lane to defend from. Maybe not necessarily the fastest, but the guy in the bottom just couldn't complete the pass. Was that kind of what you saw or no?
I mean, if you were on fresh tires, the bottom's no problem. But even when I was running the bottom, I think it was like with Derek. You know, you gotta really get a tight entry. It's a tight exit, so and you're gonna have a really bad entrance too. So you can get a more smooth entrance and exit off of the middle lane on the bottom. It's just really tight, and it's not really the proficient lane because you're coming in really low anyway, so you're not able to get that nice high to low entry.
Certainly a lot of talent on display here tonight at Dover. Congratulations, Joe, on the second spot. Before we let you get out of the booth here, is there anybody you want to thank?
Just you and you for putting this on, and NTR. Glad to be racing with them, and yeah, just heard Biker Man was out in the chat, so thanks, Biker Man. I was listening to the stream while I was racing, but yeah, it was a lot of fun, and yeah, I will see all the NTR guys Monday for Next Gen's Auto Club.
One more thing, Joe, before we let you go. We're going to the road course next week. Number one, can we expect to see you? Number two, what are your thoughts at a place like Watkins Glen?
Well, in Next Gen's, I ran third.
Okay.
So I enjoy Watkins Glen. It's one of my favorite road courses. I mean, preferably I'd run it in a Ferrari or like a BMW, or like a TCR car. But I'll run it in the ARCA car. I don't really like running stock cars on road courses, but I feel confident enough that I should be able to get around there relatively decently. I think this car is going to be easier to drive than, say, the next gen car, perhaps.
Certainly more forgiving.
Yeah, that next gen car, it curb strikes a lot, it felt like. And yeah, just had to be careful and avoid the mistakes that we did last time, because I was one off a DQ in the next gen series. I got 24, 25 incidents. I lost second place because I didn't want to get hit and get a 4X.
There you go. All right, Joe. Well, again, nice run here tonight. Good luck next week at the road course. Sounds like you've got a plan for it and everything worked out. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you, and we will see you next week.
Sounds good, Joe. See ya.
Goodbye.
Joe Roberts, second place finisher here at Dover. Got a little bit of road course experience, so we'll see how he performs next week at the Glen. Last but not least, third place finisher Vincent Short, driver of the Track Bar Media Chevrolet. Vince, it's Steve in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
Vincent Short sounding loud and clear with the new hardware. Third place finish here at Dover. You got to wonder if it could have been more. You opted to take two tires on that final stop, but it really was only about 0.5 of a second faster stop to stop versus 4. What was your mindset?
My mindset was to go in there and put about 3 gallons in at most and the 2 tires. And I accidentally checked the fuel thing up and it actually filled it up. So that's what killed me.
Oh, no. Well, that explains it then. The mindset there is if we're going to take rights and it's still going to be almost as long as a 4-tire stop, just take 4. But makes sense now. You got way too much fuel in the thing. You still managed to bring it home top 3, though. A good run. A good points day for you for certain, as Derek had a pit road speeding penalty late on that final stop. He finished 12th. What was your thoughts coming into tonight? You had some good pace out there, but again, a solid finish.
Main thing, obviously, me and Joe were together most of the night. Those two, Rob, Joe, and Derek, are the two that I'm competing mostly with right now as far as points tightness. So when Derek started falling off, then it just came down to me trying to chase Joe and not lose too many spots to him.
Well, next week we go to Watkins Glen. I know you have put forth a lot of effort on your road course program, not only in ARCA cars or next gen, but you're running radicals, you're running whatever you can to try and beef up that road course abilities. What are your thoughts going into the Glen next week?
Very confident, but I also will put the practice in to make sure I stay confident going into that race. I'm very comfortable with this car on that track, as you know, so I'm looking forward to it.
Practice, practice, practice. The words of Vincent Short. Congratulations on the third place finish here today at Dover, Vince. It was a great race. You performed well. You didn't choke. You didn't get any pit road penalties. I think it's chalk it up to a good afternoon.
Most definitely.
Well, Vince, before we let you get out of the booth here, is there anybody you want to thank?
Obviously, my wife. You know how this works. My wife's my rock, my pillar. She's my coach. She's always there. She supports me in every race I go into. My family, Kyle, my brother, my nephew Landon, my sister Jessie, Janet, my mom, my daughters and my grandbabies, Kira, Raylyn, and Amari. And obviously my sponsors, Track Bar Media, HBR TV, HBR Racing, Two Blessings Thrift Store, and obviously Numb Thumbs Racing League.
Sound like a man who's done a lot of podium interviews.
I'm working on it.
Vincent Short, thanks for talking to us, man. Good job today. Good luck next week.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks, everybody, for watching.
Was Vincent Short, driver of the 015 Track Bar Media Chevrolet, finishes third here this afternoon. Brian Tiffany finished in the fourth position. Juan Jimenez in the number 22. He finished the top 5. And anybody knows how to say his name properly, if I'm saying it wrong, please let me know. P6 was Nate Stanley in the number 67. Some good action between himself and Joe Robert. That was a position battle for quite a while we watched, but unable to complete that pass. Got close a number of times. Jason Kraft, the 23, finished 7th. Dave Hoitzma was in the 8th position. Jerry Berlin, 9th. Chris Clark finished in the 10th spot. Richard Hurst was 11th. Derek Welch, number 1 machine, finished 12th, 2 laps down. Again, a tough break for Derek. Just not meant to be this afternoon. Had an okay run going, and then a pit road speeding penalty. Tried just to get a little too much on entry. Got popped by the pit road police. Had to sit for 40 seconds. That is an eternity in a fast place like Dover Motor Speedway. So Welch finishes in the 12th spot. Mark Collins was 13th. Tom Barish was 14th. John Osborne, 15th. Richard Gray, 16th. 17th position was Ken Stocks. And last and not least, Double Ott Joe Bennett. The Double Ott North-South Motorsports entry. Finished 18th on the field. Great name, tough finish. Hope we see him next week at the Glen. Really hope we see all you guys and more next week at the Glen. I'm certainly looking forward to it. Again, that's kind of a home track for me. I'll be there in person there in a couple of weeks for IMSA. But next week, we've got the racing here, the NTRL ARCA series. Make sure you guys tune in every week. If you haven't already done so, this is super important because this is the first race we've covered for these guys. Facebook.com/HBRTV1. Same thing over on YouTube, HBRTV1. Get the like, get the follow, share, subscribe, turn on the notifications. This way, if you are intending to watch these races, and it's summertime, we get busy, we get out on the deck or the patio, having a cold beverage and maybe a snack, and oh, I forgot the race was on. Well, now you get a notification, your phone will vibrate, whatever you're going to do. You guys know how notifications work. Just make sure you do all those things, like, share, follow, subscribe, turn notifications on. You don't miss a minute of the action every week. Saturdays, we're going to be here for the NTRL ARCA series. We're going to tune in about 8 o'clock every Saturday night. We also have on Tuesdays, 8:45 in the East, we go live with the Superior Class Auto Racing Premier Series. Wednesdays are still up in the air. Those looking for a spot. Thursdays, we have the Lone Star Racing Cup Series. They run the Gen 6 Cup car, and they also go live 8:45 in the East. So we've got a few great leagues to watch right now. Premier Series runs the Camping World Trucks, the LSR Cup Series, of course, the Gen 6. And then one of my personal favorites, of course, the NTRL, the ARCA cars. Probably one of my favorite stock cars on the sim. I don't know why. They're just a blast to drive. So again, tune in for all the action. If you're not racing in it, make sure you're here to watch it. Thank you guys all for tuning in tonight. Thank you everyone for being in the stream chat and participating there. It's one of my favorite things about getting into these streams and having you guys participate, even ever so slightly. We had Biker Man going crazy. He didn't have a whole lot to say, just go Joe Robert about 5, 6, 7, 8 times. That's all right. We'll let it slide. Nikki Short, of course, cheering on her husband, giving the congratulations there at the end. Thanks for the kind words there, Nikki. Zach Millett cheering on his teammate as well with HBR. Let's see who else. Joe Tucker. Joe Tucker's actually an LSR guy watching the stream as going across the board here. So again, huge thank you to everyone who participated here. And if you didn't, try it next week. I'd love to hear from you. If you're on your favorite driver, tell me where you're watching from, all the goodies. Again, I'm Steve Singer with HBR TV. That's going to wrap it up here from Dover, Delaware. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you at the next one. Have a good night.